Hi, everyone. I'm Keith Mathis with the Mathis Group. We're a premier ATP with the Project Management Institute. Welcome to 7 Minutes to PMP Mastery. Today's PMP exam video is going to be on leading through vision rather than control. As you look at this video, one of the things that will sometimes throw people off is the understanding of how PMI will look at a topic and put a spin on it. Remember, you're looking for the best answer, not just the right answer as you're answering these questions. And leading through vision compared to control is going to be a little bit of a shift for many of us in our thinking. So what does leading through vision mean? Leading through vision rather than control means the project manager guides the team by clarifying purpose, desired outcomes, value, priorities, and decision boundaries rather than micromanaging how every task is performed. The contrast to this is controlled-based leadership focuses on task assignment, approvals, closed supervision, and authority. Vision-based leadership focuses on alignment, ownership, collaboration, and value. Now, you'll notice the two of these because typically in the past, project management has typically functioned from a command and control standpoint, control-based leadership. Now, what you're seeing is a huge shift in PMI to where it's going in the direction of vision-based leadership. And of course, especially on the Agile side where everything focuses on value. Then the teaching phase for this that we want to make sure that we get is PMI wants the project manager to create the conditions for success, not become a bottleneck for every decision. So you're wanting things to be able to go as fast as possible, and that project manager should not and does not want to become the bottleneck. A project manager needs a leadership mindset rather than management. This has been a shift from some time ago with the PMP test. And so for the PMP exam, this is a leadership mindset topic. So PMI expects project managers to move beyond command and control behavior and create an environment where the team understands the goal, owns the work, collaborates, solves problems, and makes decisions aligned with project value. The new buzzword that you're starting to see, which is an old buzzword, is management by objectives, MBO. We saw this in the 70s and early 80s. It is now resurfacing again in the new PMP material. Project managers also, and as you look at the mindset, a control-based leader will say, do exactly what I told you to do. A vision-based leader will say, here is the outcomes we're trying to achieve, here's why it matters, and here are the constraints. Let's determine the best way to get there. So notice on the control base, the project manager is calling the shots. On the vision base, the actual team is part of the decision-making process in most cases. So what about accountability? This does not mean that the project manager abandons accountability. It means accountability is created through clarity, empowerment, transparency, communication, and alignment rather than fear, excessive approvals, or task-level supervision. So let me warn you about something on the exam. Do not choose the answer that makes the project manager the hero by taking over the team's work. That will be in there, that will seem natural, but that's going to be your wrong answer. The PMP exam focuses on how to lead others, not just manage them. So this topic matters because PMP questions frequently will test whether the project manager knows how to lead people, not merely manage tasks and activities. PMI wants candidates to recognize that successful project leadership requires influence, collaboration, emotional intelligence, servant leadership, stakeholder alignment, and value-focused decision-making. The PMI scenarios on the PMP exam. PMI is likely to test this topic through scenarios where a team is waiting for direction instead of taking ownership, a project manager is tempted to make every decision personally, or a stakeholder is pressuring the project manager to control the team more tightly, a team is unclear about the project purpose or business value, or an agile team is being micromanaged by a traditional manager, and last, a hybrid project requires both governance and empowerment. These are some of the situations you might be facing. Now, picking the best PMP exam answer. The best answer usually involves clarifying the vision, aligning the team around outcomes, facilitating collaboration, removing impediments, and allowing the team to determine the best way to do the work. It's not the project manager telling them what to do. The PMP exam concepts that you must know on leadership and management. Let's walk through these very quickly. Number one would be vision creates alignment. Vision gives the team a shared understanding of where the project is going and why it matters. On the PMP exam, when a team is confused, disengaged, or working in a silo, the project manager should first clarify goals, success criteria, priorities, and value. Second, control is not the same as accountability. A common trap is assuming that the project manager must personally direct every action to maintain accountability. And they'll have that type of question on the test. So the PMI does not favor micromanagement. Accountability comes from clear roles, transparent progress, agreed upon commitments, working agreements, metrics, and regular feedback, not the PM making every decision. The third one is going to be servant leadership. Very strong on the PMP test now. It supports vision-based leadership. So in agile and hybrid environments, the project manager often acts as a servant leader. This means helping the team understand the goal, removing obstacles, facilitating collaboration, protecting the team from unnecessary disruption, and enabling self-organization. And then fourth, empowerment requires boundaries. Empowerment does not mean the team can ignore constraints. The project manager still clarifies the scope, schedule, budget, risk, thresholds, compliance requirements, stakeholder expectations, definition of done, and escalation paths, but it does allow the team to be involved in that decision making. PMP exam concepts that we need to know. Number 5 is going to be vision must be repeated. A project manager should not communicate the vision once and assume everyone understands it. PMI expects ongoing communication through team meetings, stakeholder updates, information radiators, planning sessions, retrospectives, and decision-making conversations. Number 6 is going to be leadership style should match the situation. Vision-based leadership does not mean the project manager never gives direction. In a crisis, safety issue, compliance violation, or urgent risk response, more directive leadership may be very appropriate. However, the PMP exam usually favors collaboration, assessment, facilitation, and empowerment before command and control action. So here's the mindset for this. When answering PMP questions on the topic, think this way. The project manager should lead by clarifying the goal, facilitating alignment, empowering the team, removing obstacles before escalating or taking control. PMI usually expects the project manager to do the following: assess the situation, understanding why the team is struggling, communicate the vision, clarify the purpose, the value, the outcome, and the priorities. Next is going to be facilitate collaboration, bringing the right people together to solve the issue. Next is empowering the team, letting the team determine how to accomplish the work. Next would be remove impediments, support progress without taking ownership over the team. And last, use governance appropriately, apply controls when needed, but not lead through unnecessary controls. Avoid answers where the project manager does some of these things. So if the project manager tells the team exactly how to do the work, replaces team decision-making with personal authority, escalates before attempting collaboration, changes the plan without analysis, ignores stakeholder expectations, or allows the team to proceed without clear objectives, those are all red flags for you within a project. The key statement would be PMP exam favors leadership through purpose, not management through pressure. So let's give you a PMP style question here. So a project manager is leading a hybrid project to implement a new customer service platform. The infrastructure work stream follows a predictive schedule because it involves vendor contracts and regulatory checkpoints. The software configuration work stream uses agile iterations because requirements are still evolving. After 3 months, the sponsor complains that the agile team appears undisciplined because the team members are not following a detailed task assignment schedule. The sponsor asks the project manager to begin assigning daily tasks to each Agile team member and require approval before they change their approach. The Agile team says this would slow them down and reduce their ability to respond to customer feedback. However, the predictive work stream depends on timely software integration and milestones. So here's the answers that you'll be choosing from. What should the project manager do first? A, implement the sponsor's request because the sponsor owns the business case and has authority over project direction. B, Explain to the sponsor that Agile teams must be fully autonomous and should not be expected to meet integration milestones. C, facilitate a meeting with the sponsor's Agile team and predictive work stream leads to realignment of the project vision, integration milestones, decision boundaries, and reporting expectations. Or D, convert the Agile work stream to a predictive approach so both work streams follow the same governance structure. So take a look at this, pick out your answer, and then I'm going to talk about your answer and those that you maybe have chosen by accident. All right, so what is the answer? C was your best answer because it uses vision-based leadership rather than control-based leadership. And so the project manager does not ignore the sponsor's concern, but it also does not immediately impose micromanagement on the Agile team. And so that's why C was your better answer. Now let's look at those that were left. So what is wrong with these others? A says implement the sponsor's request because sponsor owns the business case, has authority over the project decision. This is too much control and it hurts Agile delivery. B said, explain to the sponsor that Agile teams must be fully autonomous and should not be expected to meet integration milestones. This overcorrects because what happens is there has to be a balance here with both of these. D converts the Agile work stream to a predictive approach so both work streams follow the same governance structure. This is too extreme. You've thrown the baby out with the bathwater. And so that's why that is not your best answer. Now, as I come to a close with this video, let me thank you so much for watching the video. I hope it's brought some clarity for you when we talk about leadership compared to management with project managers. We do PMP exam prep boot camps every other month virtually for people, and they can sign in from all over the world. I'd love to have you in a boot camp. Go to our website, sign up for one of these, and I'd love to see you in one of our boot camps, okay? Have a great day. Thank you again for watching. Bye now.